Gates Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding, and I'm here today with Trader Justin, another paid funded trader with Apex Trader Funding. Welcome, Justin, man. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, one of the just perks of doing this is just getting the opportunity to connect with and talk to successful traders, as we were talking about actually before we got started here. And it really is a highlight of what I do around here. So let's get a little bit of a framework on where you are in your journey, because let's face it, trading is an ongoing journey with no end, if we're being honest. So how long have you actually been trading?
I've been trading, I'd say, on and off for 3 or 4 years, and then right around the time COVID happened, really got into day trading, stocks mainly.
Okay.
And then I'd say about a year ago, saw an advertisement for Apex and took advantage of it and tried my hand at futures, and kind of used some of the same disciplines that I was using with stock trading and found some success in it. And over the course of time was able to make some mistakes and learn a few things or two. And now I'd say after a good 4 or 5 months, really kind of got into my groove and kind of know what I'm doing now.
So you bring up an interesting point, because a lot of people start off with stocks. A lot of times they'll move into options, maybe Forex, and so there's the whole gamut. I mean, there's a whole slew of different things that obviously you can trade. Moving from one to another, did you find that what you were looking for, your strategy, were you able to take what you had already learned trading stocks and kind of moving down that path and transition that to futures, or did you have to start over from scratch and really just learn a new strategy?
I was able to take over some of the strategy. I mean, looking at Bollinger Bands and VWAPs, you can kind of get the same feeling in futures. And with futures, the one thing I really like about it is I'm not really sourcing through stocks on a daily basis, trying to figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. I pretty much look at the NASDAQ and the SPY and pretty much can figure out what I'm doing with futures. It's a lot easier as far as research goes.
Right. And you completely bypassed all the Greeks, so that's nice.
I try to keep it simple.
Simplicity helps. How did you actually find Apex?
Found them going through stock twits, and someone posted just, hey, this company is doing funded trading. They have a deal going right now. Click this link and take a look. And from there, looked at it, and then was in a Discord group with somebody else who happened to be an Apex trader and started picking his brain on it a little bit.
So honest answer to honest question here. When you first saw this, what was your thought about the idea that a company would fund your trading? I
was skeptical and needed a lot of reassurance from people that I was going to get paid.
Now, did this come simply from speaking with another trader, or I mean, how much work went into that process for you?
I spoke with the trader at length. I mean, him and I have been in the same Discord stock trading group for years. So he was someone who I felt comfortable, bouncing the thought off of. And when he told me that he'd been part of it, he's seen a payout, gave me some reassurance, and then scouring the internet for some more research on it, found out that, it seems pretty legit to me.
There you go. This is not just your first payout that we're talking about. At this point, how many payouts do you think you've had?
I would say probably about a half dozen, maybe 1 or 2 more.
I think every trader is a little different in how this progresses for them. I know a lot of traders, once they break that threshold, that's pretty much it, and they're good to go. Whereas other traders, there's kind of that, like, okay, I got a PA, I got a payout, now I lost that one, I'm starting over again. Did you go through a lot of that back and forth, or did it really, once it hit, it just hit?
I went through it in the beginning, kind of seeing, I guess I'd get a payout, and then I'd be like, okay, maybe I can up the ante a little bit, maybe trade a little bigger. And that didn't quite work out so well. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's gone through that.
I've heard that story a time or two. So at this point, have you had just a nice run of consistency? I mean, are we kind of on the other side of that, do you think?
I think we're almost on the other side of that. Yeah. I think, from time to time I might still blow an account, but sure. I think for the most part, it's, if the market's working with me, if I'm following my rules and my strategy and stopping out when I should be rather than hoping for something to go right, I think I've kind of hit that hump of consistency moving forward.
Do you feel like there was a moment for you where things just clicked and seemed to work, or do you feel like that was just a really slow, steady progression over that hump?
I think it clicked when I started looking at it and seeing that, you can't go in too big, because if you kind of watch the market, if you watch, and again, I'm going to try to not get too technical, but if you kind of watch your Bollinger Bands and kind of watch where the market goes, if it stays within that range, and as long as you don't go too big, you can ride that out. And then just knowing that if it's going to drop through that, then you have to stop and get out.
Right.
I think when I first started trading, I think I would hope a little bit more once it passed through that level. But now if it goes through the level, just stop out and find a new entry point.
Start fresh.
And I think that my trading's gotten much better because of that.
This is an ongoing journey. I really don't think it ever ends. I don't think there's a day where you're just like, that's it, I am a successful trader and all the work is done and I just go in there and collect my money every morning. What do you think is next for you on this journey as you continue to grow as a trader?
I'd like to continue with futures. I'm trying to whittle down some of the stock trading that I do and move more into futures. I think it's more consistent. I think it's easier. I think you can move with the markets, whereas, the market could go up 300 points and the stock that you're looking at for the day is down $7. And it doesn't do you much good when you're trying to make a living doing this.
Exactly.
I also think it's a faster pace and you can be in and out quicker.
Right.
And I see myself getting more involved on this side of things, and stocks. Options are something that I don't mess with.
I had a very brief stint with options. It was just not for me. I did pretty well. It just wasn't for me. So I know that feeling. Well, listen, man, I love having the opportunity to talk to successful traders. I know that this is a big part of what's kept me motivated through the years to continue and fight the fight and overcome the rough days. And having the opportunity to do this has been super beneficial. Do you have any people that you communicate with on a regular basis about trading, batting ideas around, or just commiserating?
I am part of a stock Discord group. Have been with them for, I'd say, at least 5, 6, 7 years now. Time flies. Yeah. And, we'll bounce around ideas in there, and it's gone from, penny stocks to large cap stocks to momentum stocks to options, and now they're even talking futures in the group. So there's always people bouncing off ideas.
Right.
There's always ideas that you can kind of look into, or kind of say, hey, what do you guys think about this? And they'll tell you if it's a waste of time or worth dealing with, and you can also share a bad day with them too.
How important do you think that community is to your continued success?
It's nice to have people to bounce ideas off of, and it's nice to be able to vent when you have a really bad day. Because I think we've all had them.
We have, for sure. Awesome, man. Well, listen, one of the things that I like to do is after we do this first interview, is maybe catch up a couple months down the road, get an update, see how everything's going, if you'd be up for that.
Absolutely.
Well, Justin, thanks for taking some time and hanging out with me today. Definitely insightful. I love to see the continued growth and success, and we'll chat with you on the next one.
All right, sounds good.